The road to the NBA isn't all glory and praises, it's earned. Every rookie dreams of stepping onto that court, look to become the next LeBron James, Steph Curry, drop 40, have thousands of fans cheer, worship them, wanting everyone to tell them how great they are, when in reality, most players that get drafted should consider themselves lucky to become viable role players and play a decade in the association. Nothing in the NBA is ever guaranteed, especially for this season's rookies, unless your name's Bronny James. When opportunity doesn't knock on the first year, it's always up to the players to prove themselves. A couple right now grinding in the G League, balling out while struggling to get minutes on their real teams. When their time comes, the grind and numbers they put will get noticed. These next wave of players planning to take over the 2030s decade, these kids just too good for the G League. It'll only be a matter of time when their names get respected in the association. Starting with number 3 pick Reeves Shepard of the Houston Rockets, his team playing fantastic ball on the number 2 seed team in the West. Halfway through the season, the established guards of much improved Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, and Ahmed Thompson will absolutely keep Shepard riding the bench. Just named G League Player of the Week, many had him the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. Had a 49-point performance, just 3 G League games. Looking to regain his confidence back, the 20-year-old Kentucky native only in for a couple possessions. Last 3 NBA games, struggling adjusting to the pace. Unless Houston have a player or two down later in the season, Shepard's G League performance, the most we get to hear from him all season, did whatever he wanted. Looked like he was on 2K playing on easy mode. The deadly outside shot, change of pace, has some Steve Nash and Steph Curry qualities to his game, reminding many why he was the most impressive one and done all last season with Kentucky. All of a sudden, 26 highest total minutes this rookie class, even behind several undrafted players. Granted, the Rockets are not the Wizards or Blazers. Had Shepard been drafted to the nation's capital, he'd be averaging 30 minutes a night and perhaps even score between 14 to 20 points a game. Way too early to be labeled anything that hasn't been proven. Tough for any quality player to come off the bench, play a little bit, go 0 for 3, get pulled, call it a day. Will players knowing they can prove themselves will just feel tempted to jack up any shot they can get in garbage time? It might take a couple years for Shepard to really get going. Being on a good team off the bat, looks uncomfortable with the limited minutes. Even former number 2 pick teammate Jabari Smith didn't make his impacts truly felt immediately. But for Smith, the Rockets were in rebuild mode 2 years ago, later becoming one of the key pieces. Houston not rebuilding, Shepard might as well continue to play more G League games, drop buckets for a week, then come back to gain chemistry, be prepared to check in whenever possible. The type of rookie who needs lots of minutes to get comfortable, but the Rockets don't have that kind of time for mistakes. All the kid can do at this point, remain a professional, has good instincts as a team player with high IQ. Very unlikely Houston opts into Fred VanVleet's $44 million team option next season. Shepard needs to be more comfortable shooting when open. His time will come closer to 2026 than 25. 20th pick Jalen Tyson. Selected by the loaded number 1 seed Cavs, the 6'2" guard out of Texas, averaging over 19 and 9, 4.5 assists, 41% from 3 across 5 contests, did play a dozen minutes, 5 points, 6 rebounds, blowout loss to OKC, only one NBA double-digit game, November 20th, played 37 minutes in a 28-point blowout, a stat line of 16, 11, and 7, a recent 23.16 board G League performance, paying his rookie dues. Many NBA vets off the bench as the 13th man might not be 30 minutes a game shape quality. Tyson himself balancing on expanding his game, working as a spot-up shooter and slasher while being a force on the glass, potentially a championship caliber role player, logging more total G League minutes than NBA at the midway point of the season. Realistically, every rookie from the 2024 class would have ended up playing some sorts of G League games if they were on Cleveland. Tyson alongside Amani Bates, both too good for the G League, the franchise preparing them for the future, testing to see how they respond, being in a tough situation where the more established starters, winning games nearly every night, looking to contend for a title. Tyson could also be a trade piece if the Cavs want to make bigger moves. 27 pick Shannon Jr., drafted by Minnesota. Just 10 games for the 6'2" guard, played 4 total G League games, a staggering 36.5 point average, 30 plus each of those contests. Will have to miss the rest of January with a foot injury. The 24-year-old had a 47-point effort in a loss to the Salt Lake City Stars, could become the piece that keeps Minnesota's locker room afloat given their lack of outside shot making. The franchise now putting the 24-year-old's talents go to waste, being mediocre post-Carl Towns era. Giving Minnesota awful judgment with talent evaluation over the decades, don't be surprised to see Shannon Jr. give quality production on a different NBA team next season. If the Wolves role players in DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker continues to struggle and Chris Finch don't give his rookie a chance, just having an 8-man rotation, the Wolves might miss the playoffs entirely. Finch refusing to admit that Conley's washed and taking minutes from the younger guys. Shannon can get at least 10 minutes a night when he's back healthy and play every single one of those minutes in garbage time. The Illinois product clearly proven to be NBA caliber, many of his hometown fans begging for the Bulls to trade for him, knowing he can ball better than most rookies when given the chance. 30th pick Baylor Shyman, former Creighton standout with the Maine Red Claw, putting up nearly 20 points, 22 contests amongst regular season and tip-off tournament, getting drafted by the defending champions as a late first rounder. No rookies this class would even play a bigger role for the Celtics than Peyton Pritchard, who's the 6th option on the team. Shyman having a lot of Joe Ingles qualities with less size at 6'6", but more athleticism, a pure shooter, super positive, impressive attitude, not seeing being on the G League as a demotion, but motivation. 6 NBA contests, 1 basket, recalled from Maine to suit up 4 minutes in a win over the Magic. His previous NBA game before then, December 2nd, only 2 years guaranteed on his contract, followed by a team option. High IQ guy, crafty playmaking, underrated off-ball activities, can create for others, be a screener and cutter. Only a matter of time till Shyman becomes a foreseeable 6th man for the Celtics running the second unit, the type of guy to get more playing time towards February and March until Missoula prioritizes his main guys en route for another title run. Shyman proving why he's more than deserving being a first-round pick. Tyler Kolek, 34th pick by the Knicks. We all know Tibbs doesn't like to play his bench guys. The 23-year-old gained tons of respect around the association, playing a rare NBA and G League doubleheader the same day, dropped 36 before immediately driving from Westchester to Midtown Manhattan, contributed with 2 points, 4 assists off the bench in a win with the injuries to Jalen Brunson and Miles McBride. Kolek locked in a dozen minutes, showing the New York tough attitude, dropped 22 points, 11 assists off the bench, winning G League Winter Showcase Finals MVP. Just 4 games for Westchester, already shown he can knock down the threes, good vision, will need to play better D and develop a floater to his game. If he wants to crack into Tibbs' rotation, already has motor and confidence, given New York super short on depth. When Cam Payne goes on his cold streaks, that's when Kolek can maximize his playing time. Might not play too much till his second season. Tibbs absolutely waiting for his rookie to improve on D. Until then, he'll be on the Knicks bench. Antonio Reeves, 47 pick of the New Orleans Pelicans, 17 contests for the 6'5" guard, putting up 26.5 a game, 4 G League contests, 16 of his 17 NBA games, scored single digits, but that one game, a monster 34-point outburst, 14 of 25 from the field in a blowout loss to Cleveland, reminding everybody being an absolute bucket with Illinois State and Kentucky. Reeves unfortunately stuck on the most dysfunctional franchise, no leadership, needs a coach that can trust him more. The Pelicans in a tough weird situation when all the guys are healthy. They have a solid team on paper, too good to be tanking hard, but super low in the standings, will still end up being a top 7 worst team for all we know. Come final 15 games of the regular season, team might as well play Reeves 30 minutes a game. 52nd pick, Quentin Post, 16 games for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Steph Curry never played with a stretch 5. Post could become his first, a 20-point, 10-rebound guy, attempting over 6 treys, only 3 NBA games, has 6 points in 7 minutes January 10th at Indy. But Steve Kerr, a massive reputation for not trusting or developing his young guys. Post, having similar offensive qualities to Kerr and Brook Lopez, can finish with either hand on the post, step back from mid-range, and knock down threes, could become a poor man's Nikola Vucevic in his prime. Despite being raw, slim frame, and not ready on defense, Golden State's running out of time. They almost have nothing to lose by playing their 24-year-old. He can't be that much worse than Dario's 17 minutes a game Saric last season. Out for several weeks, Memphis Cam Spencer immediately proved being way too good, dropped 51 points, ridiculous 12 of 15 from 3 after being out with an ankle injury before training camp. Not expected to play a big role, but proven to have the skill sets as a shooter. Other guys in 19 pick Jacoby Walter, 29 pick Isaiah Collier, and 49 pick Tristan Newton spend their time balling out, slowly all trying to establish key roles for themselves as crucial role players for years to come.